The morning routine is instinctual, and I've had major success when I've designed it exactly like this. Morning routines are often extremely difficult to maintain and keep consistent. The struggle is real when it comes to the morning routine. We totally understand that 100%. The goal of continued success and sticking to the routine is completely related to my mindset. My mind is the only thing that will keep me consistent as well as kill consistency for me. The mind, as we know, wants you to be safe and to be comfortable. The mind is protecting you and looking for the easiest and least stressful way of operating. The mind is great in situations of danger when it comes to protection, but in situations like getting out of bed early in the morning, doing 2 more reps when lifting weights, reading 10 more extra pages of that book, or writing for another 5 minutes, the mind pushes back because it's easier, safer, and more comfortable not doing any of those things. Once I realized how the mind operates and came to the conclusion that when the mind protects you in these situations, it's not good for me because it prohibits what I need for growth. Continued growth is the most important thing in order to seek potential and purpose in life. And the mind and the brain think they're doing the right thing, but are actually hurting you. Now that you're aware, you can make better informed decisions when the mind tells you to stop. Do the opposite is a mantra that consistently motivates me in the mornings. Oftentimes it helps me when my mind informs me to separate from my morning routine. I often tell myself the night before I wake up to immediately do the opposite of what my brain tells me to do. 10 out of 10 times, it's my brain telling me to go back to bed. I have to push through those thoughts by doing the opposite. My brain's going to tell me to crawl back in bed, get warm and cozy, snooze that alarm and try again tomorrow. But you have to push through and stay consistent. I must do the opposite and stick to the course. My brain wants me to fail at all these tasks every day because the brain likes comfort. The only way to grow and get better is to keep the consistency of my routine and stick to the uncomfortable tasks. Now that my mindset is clear and I understand how the mind works, I then focus on 5 key frameworks related to a successful morning routine. These 5 frameworks are quite easy to remember and all begin with the letter E. The 5 frameworks to remember are early rise, exercise, educate, express, and evaluate. Early rise is the first of the framework and a major key to starting my morning routine off correctly. I set myself apart and begin my day early in the morning. The earlier the better, not because I shouldn't sleep and I must work harder than others, but because the morning is when I wake up, I gain a head start on distractions. If I wake up at 4 a.m. and the first meeting of the day is 7 a.m., I have 3 hours prior to any distractions to accomplish my routine. This is very important because distractions and other appointments will kill my morning routine. I will always find an excuse and use other appointments or distractions to not stay consistent in that routine. We want to remove all of these distractions immediately, and that is why early is the first part of a successful morning routine. I wake up at 4:15 a.m. and begin my routine by 4:30 a.m. every single morning. This removes the opportunity to get distracted by work, my cell phone, my wife, or even my child. It provides me the opportunity to focus on the task at hand and do exactly what needs to be done without any distractions. There are several tricks that I used in order to make up the transition from waking up at 6:30 a.m. to now waking up at 4:15. The first trick I used was to charge your phone across the room so you're forced to get up out of bed and turn it off. The other trick that many people use is to download Alarmy, which is an app on your phone in which you set an alarm and create specific ways to turn it off and eliminate the opportunity to even snooze it. You can set up Alarmy so the morning alarm goes off, and the only way to turn it off is if you get up and scan a barcode on your soap in the bathroom with your phone. This causes you to not be able to hit the snooze or the off button easily and forces you out of bed and into your bathroom, which hopefully will keep you up and get you moving on into your morning routine. Exercise is the second part of the morning routine. This is important because it wakes up the body and gets me activated. By starting my day with exercise, it allows me to sweat out all the toxins, engage my metabolism, and release dopamine in my brain. Exercising also provides me with a psychological advance when starting the day. Psychologically, I have already accomplished a major part of my morning and success within the day by exercising and getting my body and mind prepared first thing in the morning. Motivation and accomplishment are 2 important things that are derived from obedient exercise in the morning and will propel my day to success. 30 to 60 minutes of intense exercise is what I landed on for maximum output in my day, but your routine should be custom to your body and your aligned goals. Education is the third part of the morning routine that is integral. Our minds and our brains are at their best in the morning. Like I mentioned previously, there are no distractions or immediate emotions in our mind that we derive from instances throughout the day. This allows clarity and major focus, so I want to take advantage of that and educate myself in some way. Education can be done in multiple different avenues and lanes. There isn't a right or wrong way to educate yourself, although I want to ensure I am learning positive habits and growing in knowledge that is useful to my present and my future life. I personally set 2 goals for my morning routine when it comes to education. The first goal is to read at least 10 pages every single morning of a book. This allows me to keep consistent with the storyline and relevant with what I'm trying to learn. I also listen to a podcast on the way to my first appointment. This is often more motivational and mindset related, where the book education is more tactical and also practical. This gives me 2 sources of education, but with different forms of receiving that information, as well as different types of educating info. I enjoy the different formats because personally I like variety, and I can read information as well as listen to it with specific tonality. Then I believe I can absorb and retain the information at a higher level. Express is the 4th key part of the morning routine. This relates to expressing my feelings, what's working, what's not working, affirmations, and also gratitude. Each morning I write down in a journal exactly what emotions I'm feeling and why. I leave these emotions on the paper. This is my way of removing the stress and negativity around things not going as planned in my life, and I move on. Also, because I'm typically writing my feelings that reflect negative emotion, I like to follow up my journal with affirmations and gratitude to ensure my mindset is in a great place as I continue throughout my routine and the day. For example, my journaling could look something like this. Today I woke up feeling like I could have done better on closing a client yesterday. I wasn't on my A game and it cost me a sale. I was frustrated with a vendor. I couldn't align with a colleague, and efforts for collaboration on a project failed due to timing and communication. I feel like yesterday I completely sucked. There's nothing I can do to change that now. Today's a new day. I'm thankful for my loving wife, supportive friends who came over for dinner, and a career where I can make a great living and also spend time with my family. Just because yesterday didn't go as planned does not mean I am not a great businessman. I am intelligent and I'm dedicated. I'm committed to success within my business in order to provide for my loving family. This example hits on all 3 of the express elements: reflection of emotion, affirmations, and also gratitude. This exercise can be done mentally, but you want to be able to reflect on your days of the past and continue to grow and get better. So it's recommended that you write these down either online or in a notebook/journal. Evaluate. This is the last part of the framework for a successful morning routine that's changed my life. I must evaluate my routines regularly. Why should I evaluate my routine? The main reason is because my goals can change. Routines should be tweaked or adjusted to ensure that that routine is providing the outcomes that are desired and aligned with my current goals. Also, my morning routine took a good chunk of time to flesh out. For example, it makes sense for me to wake up and journal before I do anything, because you need to remove the negative thoughts and motivate yourself through affirmations and gratitudes before you make it to the gym. I constantly look at my routine and make changes. It is okay to tweak my routine, but I must continue to do the hard things first in my day. That is a guaranteed must, or I will struggle consistently with accomplishing the morning routine. Here is my daily routine so you can see how I have evaluated and tweaked my specific routine from the above framework and guidelines. 4:15 a.m. the alarm goes off and I start my journaling. 4:30 a.m. I take the dogs out and sit in the sauna for 30 minutes. 5 a.m. I change and go to the gym. 6 a.m. I read and have coffee. 6:15 I spend time with my wife and daughter. 7 a.m. I shower and get ready for the day. And 8 a.m. I start my day with my first appointment. It took several months to fine-tune and coordinate what needed to take place for my routine. It also helped me focus and stay in frequency with what's needed for myself to be the best version of me before I start the day. Now that I have the framework for success when it comes to my morning routine, there's no excuse not to execute it. Remember, it started with my mindset and utilizing the concept of doing the opposite. I consistently focus on the 5 E's, which set me up for success every single day. Early rise, exercise, educate, express, and evaluate. Do you have a morning routine? How often do you fall off of your morning routine? What's your biggest challenge related to your morning routine?